and the ugly stuff of life. That
What you are about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Now, as most people know, I'm not good at making predictions. Can't really see over the horizon ever on anything. But I'm going to make one. Last night, the GOP, and in particular, 11 senators, have just started a new Tea Party. Yeah, that's right. I just think what they did last night was a betrayal of everything that we hope and believe in. You know, some of us still think a few things are self-evident, you know, like math. You know, I can add numbers up and know when it doesn't work. And I also know how to count to 11. It's just one number below the dirty dozen. You remember the saboteurs? Yeah, that blew everything up. Yeah, 11 is just one senator shy of the dirty dozen. We begin there in 60 seconds. It's Friday, and it's going to be a good Friday. I have homecoming for my two children happening today. I have a Navy SEALs fundraiser, which I've been waiting for about 2 years. I have a board meeting, another charity event, and a wedding to go to, all today. So it's going to be great.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like a good day. Mm-hmm. And then I get up and I have a few senator friends who were burning up my text last night and just say, hello. I think we just sold our country out. I think we have 11 people that have just sold the country out. No, they didn't. No, you know what happened is they felt that if they didn't raise the debt ceiling, something that the Democrats could have done on their own, okay? They didn't need to have any Republican help them. They could have done it on their own, but they didn't want to, okay? Because they don't want to handle the gun. They would much rather say, boy, that person needs to be killed over there. Wow, but I can't do it. But you know how many people would save? You know, honestly, Mitch McConnell, do you know how many people it would save if you'd just pick up the gun and shoot that person? We'd be your friends forever. We love you so much. It would be the spirit of compromise. We'd be able to team up and do all kinds of things. And the next time you want something, well, we promise we're not going to give it to you. What is wrong with these people of the GOP? I predict they have just started a new Tea Party because I, for one, I was at a fundraiser last night for a local guy who is running for county judge, which is like county executive. And he's the guy who, really raised the funds for the people that were standing up against the school board that put 2 school board members in jail. He's the guy who had a spine. And I was just saying last night, I won't do anything for the GOP. This guy happens to be a Republican. I don't give a flying crap. I want to see not what you say. I want to see what you do. And this guy had a long track record of doing the right thing. And then, as I'm there, they're selling our country out. And I have to tell you, there are a few things that I still hold self-evident. That all men are created equal, which means I'm not going to take another single day from a single person in any school district that I have anything to do with. I will not, for another day, I will not stand quietly by if you are teaching my children that some people are more equal than others. That you're teaching my children that Martin Luther King was wrong. That you're teaching my children that somehow or another, they or anyone else are guilty of sins that were committed by people they don't know nor were related to. No, not another day. I hold the truth self-evident that all men are created equal and that you have a right to life. So, not another day am I going to say, gee, I don't know, we should give Fauci some more money to do some more testing on dead babies. Do you know that's how they did it? You know, they were testing the coronavirus vaccines with dead baby tissue? Oh, yeah. Well, abortion is important. Not another day. Liberty? Not another day. Not another day. Will I stand by while you are checking people's bank accounts, a violation of the Fourth Amendment? While you are putting people in solitary confinement for a misdemeanor? I think that one violates the Fifth Amendment and the Sixth Amendment. No. I will stand by anybody who is a Democrat or a Republican that actually honors their oath. And I don't see very many people doing it. I know 11 people are trying to make themselves sleep well by saying, we saved the country. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. First of all, if they want to go on the debt ceiling and say, it's going to destroy America. Really? We're not going to pay our debts? I mean, I know you guys don't read the Constitution, but the Constitution says that takes priority over everything else. So they would have had to cut a few things. Oh, no. Cut a few things? Oh, shoot. Oh. I got a few things to cut. How about the Department of Education? What the hell? How about the Department of Interior? At this point, I'm pretty damn close to saying, how about the Pentagon? Is there anybody on the Democratic side that sees what is happening to our country and has an ounce of testosterone? Weak men create hard times. What have we done to our men? Weak men create hard times, and we wonder why we're having a problem. Because we got Sallys and Nancys up there. Oh, sure, they might identify as someone with a spine. They might identify as someone who is a defender and protector. But sorry, I don't think you are. You can put the dress back on. These people are not willing to stand for the things that we have pledged to each other are self-evident. They will not stand. Well, where are the people? And I know I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I know you don't want to run. I know you don't think you have time to go to the school board meetings. I know you think your voice doesn't matter. That's by design. I want to elect the people who don't want to go. I want to elect the people who think politics is despicable. I want to elect people who think it's nothing but a game and they despise it. I want to find good and honorable people that aren't coveting power and money. I want people with children and grandchildren, but I don't necessarily want the ones that are still walking around with great-great-grandchildren. We are run by a group of people that have pudding at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the early bird special at Denny's. There is nothing wrong. I think the older you get, the more wise you are, the more experiences you have, the more we should ask and listen to our elders. But there's a point that we all have to say, they don't get it. They don't get it at all. They're living in 1967. And all these damn hippies who have been set to destroy our country since 1967 have all the power now. And they don't have a clue as to what the hell they're even talking about. I got to get on one of them Twitter machines. I'm so upset at that Facebook. I was reading that Facebook last night. I got up to page 157. There are so many up-and-coming patriots. I said in 2009 or 10 when we were in Washington together, if you happen to be there, somewhere in this crowd is the next George Washington. Somewhere in the crowd is the next Martin Luther King. This is the next Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln. They're not giant statues yet. But someday we may be building statues of their likeness. They're probably 8 years old today. Well, that makes them 20 today. And they are out there. They are there. And they're already engaged. They're smarter than most of us were. They're more engaged than most of us were. They feel it passionately. They were selected to be here at this time by a God who knew that weak men would destroy freedom. Gosh, he's awfully sexist. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Stand up. Remember who you are. Recognize what time it is. And be who you were born to be, not who we've all allowed ourselves to become. Holidays are about what? Old Elizabeth Warren said, you know, this debt ceiling is like a live hand grenade, and it's being used by extremists, and we got to stop. I think we should just eliminate the debt ceiling altogether. Oh.
It's like it is sort of pointless in a way because they don't pay attention to it.
No, it's a speed bump.
It's just a reminder to everyone what a terrible job they're doing every 2 years, which is why they hate it.
Correct.
And now it's actually every 2 months this time.
Yeah, so, this time it's only taking us to what, December?
It's coming to December, and you'd think $480 billion, okay, well, it gets us to the end of the year. No, it gets us to early December. Only early December, $480 billion of debt. Now, look, the typical way this works is the party in power has to suck it up and get the vote done while the other party gets to run ads against them in the next campaign. That's like the trade-off normally. Mm-hmm. And it's a kind of a silly game, But still, it's a game that has pretty well-defined rules.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they've just, for whatever reason, the Republicans are like, well, you know what? We'll just go along with you on this one.
Well, only Mitch McConnell and his clan could just snatch victory. Oh, no, sorry. No, he usually snatches defeat out of the jaws of victory.
I mean,
Good heavens.
It was going to be raised. And
yeah,
I guess
let them do it.
Yeah, let them do it.
And they said, well, they were going to get rid of the filibuster. Let them try. Let them try.
The only thing that would defend them on this is if they think they can hold Joe Manchin against these bills as there's a backroom trade-off.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's gonna.
I don't think so either, but I think that might be the theory here.
Right,
maybe
whatever.
that's the only thing I can come up with, though. I mean, I have to speculate to come up with any reason why they would do this.
No, they would like to keep their status in the new corporate America. I think that's what it is. The public-private corporate America. They want their share.
This is the Glenn Beck Program.
By the way, wait until you see what Merrick Garland's family has been up to. We're going to talk about that coming up in just a second. Rough Green. Hello, America. It's Friday. I want to bring in a real patriot, Azra Nomani. She is the Vice President for Strategy and Investigations at Parents Defending Education, where she is the editor of the Indoctrination database and FOIA work. She's also the co-founder of Coalition for TJ, a group of parents and community members in Virginia. She's a former reporter for the Wall Street Journal, co-director of the Pearl Project, and co-founder of the Muslim Reform Movement. This woman has been fighting the good fight for a very long time. Yesterday, she came out with a story that is so important as our FBI and the Department of Justice under Merrick Garland are coming out and looking for the terrorists that are the parents. Her group got a tip that Merrick Garland might have a conflict of interest, and she is with us now to explain. Azra, welcome to the program. Azra, are you there?
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Good.
great.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your kind words, too. But I was so looking forward to talking to you because you're an investigator. So you know how to follow the money, and I knew that you would get this story and you would understand how important it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's go through.
Yes.
His daughter, Merrick Garland's daughter, is married to, what's his name? Tanner.
No, I know. I'm gonna make you go through this.
Okay,
no, I'm gonna
ahead.
make you go through this. This is just another example of how ridiculous it is.
Okay.
So his actual name is Alexander, but he goes by Zan because that's what every nickname is for Alexander, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So his daughter, name is Rebecca Garland, and the daughter grew up in, the comfortable life of her dad and mom, and went to Yale. And then at Yale, she reconnected with an old childhood acquaintance, Zan, and they got married. And it should have just ended there as a happy, love story.
Yes.
Right. New York Times wedding announcement, the whole thing. And what's in the first paragraph? Of course, that her father, Merrick Garland, attended. And then a few paragraphs later, Zan was a co-founder of a company called Panorama Education.
Panorama Education. That sounds epic. What do they do?
Yeah, it sounds so tame, right? It's just they picked the perfect disguise. It's a perfect Trojan horse. So let me just fast forward to the fact that we now have venture capitalists investing in Panorama Education, so it must be hot.
Yeah.
And one of those investors is a man by the name of Mark Zuckerberg.
Wow.
So why would Mark Zuckerberg be interested in this education company based in Boston by a couple of Yale graduates? Because it is a data mining company. And what Panorama Education does is they use these fancy words called social and emotional learning. So just think about that, like combination of words, so bizarre. Social and emotional learning. What does that mean? Well, when my kid was small, it was just like learn to have critical thinking and have character and be nice to others. Now they are using it as an excuse to mess with kids' heads. And some of the questions in these, quote, screeners, that's what they're calling their surveys, are things like, are you gender fluid? What's your position on race? Are you happy or are you sad? Literally, parents are not even aware about these surveys.
So here's the thing. If you listen to Megyn Kelly, she kind of talked about this, but she didn't know necessarily what it was. But her child came back home and said, I'm asked if I still feel like I'm a boy, and they do it every week.
Exactly. It's from one company or the other. It is an industry. So Panorama Education is just the tip of the iceberg in this multi-million-dollar industry. And let's be clear about what they are. They're government contractors. You know, they're not just an education company. They're not just like, oh, we're here for child welfare. They are government contractors. And so Merrick Garland's son-in-law is profiting off the backs of our country's children. And, and we're not talking little contracts, millions of dollars.
Yeah, let me get some facts here. Fairfax County Fairfax County Public Schools signed quietly an $1.8 million contract with Panorama Education for their screening, where they ask the students questions whether they feel sad or gender fluid, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
The Panorama Education staff gets status now as school officials, so they have a right to the private student data under federal law.
Yeah, just people need to just absorb what you just said. I mean, it's so dramatic. Contractors are getting status as school officials equal to teachers or principals, school board members, and they are basically data scientists or even data nothings, but just absorbing this information about kids. And Glenn, this is the breaking news headline for you, because I know you love breaking news. $1.8 million was this agreement in June. Nobody even knew about it. They started having board meetings, and they just mentioned, oh, we got COVID money, over the summer. And guess what? We're going to spend it on this screener. So there was this vigilant mom who heard just this mention in a school board meeting, and she asked them, what is this screener? So that's how she got the information about the $1.8 million contract. And then she called us at Parents Defending Education and gave us the tip. But guess what? They then quietly signed another agreement, an addendum in September, raising the number to $2.4 million.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's one school district. One school district. So now
that happened in early September, and then within a month, I went to the school board and I protested the wastage of this money. And days later, the school board association, summons the FBI. I'm not saying it was because of me, but I know that they know that parents' eyes are on these contracts. And then we got this edict from Merrick Garland to shut us up.
So here's what I want you to know. The federal government is data mining our children. They are asking that they themselves are allowing contractors funded by Zuckerberg and Merrick Garland's son and daughter, or son-in-law and daughter. It's their company. They're going into our school districts in the cover of night with the school board. They are getting this information. They are deeming the people who are processing this information as school officials, so they can have access to all of this and share it with third parties without parental notification or consent.
Yeah, and so then what happened is that we raised questions about it, and then they suddenly announced, oh, there's going to be an opt-out form that parents can sign, but it wasn't available for days. It wasn't even unclear who do you send it to. And then, guess what? Parents started filling it out, and they then started getting emails literally asking, did you make a, quote, mistake? Are you sure you wanted to opt out? As if these parents made a mistake. And
by the way, the opt-out date, the final date is today, right? And
Glenn, can you believe that you know the opt-out day for a school district in Northern Virginia? But
no.
That's how important it is. And you know the details matter.
Yeah. And I also know if people start looking into their own school board, you're going to find, are there any other companies besides Panorama Education that people should be looking for?
Oh, my gosh, this is so fantastic. So one other little nugget I want to just share with you and your listeners is that Fairfax County's public schools, we have discovered also, shared information on all of the students before a single opt-out form was even presented to parents.
This is evil.
So they got the student name, the student ID number, their class, and their school. And everybody needs to remember that this the market of children, as any parent knows, they spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money on them. So this is a big market that companies want to understand. So let me tell you. So what happened is that this Eagle Eye mom also submitted a FOIA to find out who were the other bidders, because this one, of all things, we actually had other bidders. And I'm going to name some of the companies.
Okay.
They weren't bidders in Fairfax County, but there's a company called Castle, C-A-S-C-L. They are huge in this business.
C-A-S-T-E-L.
C-A-S-E-L.
E-L, Castle, okay.
Yeah, Castle is a big company.
Okay.
Then we have another company that they're all such strange names that you kind of start forgetting what they are.
Yeah.
But then New York University has a company, and it's their education department. So you just have to look up if there's a contract with New York University. And then we have this other company that is culturally responsive, and so they make it all sound so good.
So
right?
Culturally Responsive is the name of the company?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and I'm going to get you a whole list. So that
please do,
know.
and I will tweet it out today. If you're in the Fairfax County School District, your opt-out date ends today. You better get on the stick if this is the first time that you've heard about this. This is once again our kids being sold for power and money. And, don't mess with my kids, man. Don't mess with my kids. And this is the kindest thing I could say is Merrick Garland, just this really brilliant guy that should have been on the Supreme Court, just didn't see the conflict of interest, about saying we're going to go after these parents who are standing up against these things with the FBI. When his daughter and son-in-law are making millions of dollars data mining the children in the very counties that he's saying we're going to have to send the FBI into. It's sickening.
What we've done now is yesterday we sent a letter to Senate Commerce Committee to ask for a hearing on this very important issue of big tech data mining our kids. And I hope everybody will support us, write a letter to your senator or representative, because this matters, because these surveys are then used, I hope everybody understands, as a way to make an excuse to get programs of indoctrination into the schools. Oh, our kids are sad, so we need to have some uplifting anti-racism training. That's how they get their programs in. It's a Trojan horse.
Ezra, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, Glenn, thank you.
If you want to find out more information, go to defendinged.org, defendinged.org. Every parent must be involved. All right, man, it's going to be a long day today, but I get to go home and slip in between my Giza dream sheets. Yeah. You doing that tonight, Stu?
That's the way to do it. Yeah, sure.
My wife's friend is trying to convince us that, oh, no, you got to sleep on linen. I'm like, why don't we just sleep in a burlap, sleeping bag?
How dare you?
Oh, my God. Welcome to the program. It is Friday. I have a review of the new James Bond movie.
Oh, that's out this weekend.
Yeah,
Finally.
I saw it last night.
Was it May 2020 it was supposed to come out?
Worth the wait.
Really?
Worth the wait. And I had high expectations, and it met them. You will love the new James Bond movie.
Really?
Yeah. Best one, I think.
Out of his...
Because you'll see things you've never seen before, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Another thing. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
You know what I mean? Brandon, let's go, Brandon. We're wearing the new Let's Go, Brandon t-shirts, which I don't know. I really appreciate the people that are translating this into something else.
I don't know what they mean.
I don't know what
frankly.
they mean either. But I don't like the fact that we're doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, you can get the T-shirt at shop.blazemedia.com if you'd like to chant along with us.
And I want you to know I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it when my kids are around. You know what I mean?
I will say this. I have 2 young kids. Several times this chant has broken out.
Yeah.
We've seen it on bumper stickers and signs, and not "Let's Go, Brandon," but the full, unedited version.
Yeah, right.
And while I certainly agree with the
feelings,
the motivation behind it,
yes,
I will say I'm not in love with because you go to a sporting event. And they're chanting this all the time. And, when you take your kid to a sporting event, some drunk idiot is going to be swearing and God only knows what else. But now even the good people in the crowd are swearing all the time.
And making it into the wave.
Yeah, it's like, can you please?
I really like the Let's Go, Brandon
Let's go,
thing.
Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. You can get the T-shirt at
shop.blazemedia.com.
Okay. Well, see, that's what you're here for, isn't it?
Somebody has to be here to get you to say the right things.
Shop.blazemedia.com.
Yeah.
By the way, those dots, they're period. Then it's not DOT.
No?
No.